Hey guys, it's your best boxing friends. I'm Kelsey. This is Rachel. Rachel, a big weekend in boxing. We saw a bunch of good fights, highlighted of course by Andy Ruiz's shocking victory over Anthony Joshua to become unified champion. In his honor, I'm wearing a Premier Boxing Champion shirt. I wanted to talk a little bit about Katie Taylor's win over Delfine Persoon.
Yeah. So we were really excited to see Katie Taylor, and when we got there to see her come into the ring, just totally excited about that.
Oh, what is this, you ask? Well, actually, Rachel, I'm glad you brought it up. This is my first place award from the BWAA. You know, they say
Here, I'll
it's
get
not.
it for you.
I guess it's not common out there in society to just carry awards like this around with you. We got at the grocery store earlier today, but I've noticed it's a forced conversation starter, especially if you just kind of like keep putting it. So like at the store, like I was talking to this guy and we were talking, and this was like, and so eventually they're like, "Oh, what's that?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm glad you asked, guy." I also like to think. I thought about adding a little thing here. I would like to be the Premier Boxing Writing Champion. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just saying. No big deal. I probably only carry it around with me. It meant a lot to me because it was a long road to get there and something I never really expected. And so I'm probably just going to carry it around for another week or two. It's got a little thing on the back, so I was thinking of making it just like a necklace so that it's less conspicuous. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea.
This is not part of the giveaway. You will have to pry this out of my cold, dead hand, okay? Anyway,
All right,
what are we talking about?
Katie Taylor. Kind of a little bit shocking for me was here I am spouting off about how amazing Katie Taylor is. And then when we see her in the ring, she almost lost. And in some people's eyes, she did lose the fight. You know, not the judge's eyes, but in some people's, like, she did lose that fight. And so,
yeah, I mean, it was a close fight, though. So I feel like from where I sat, I thought that Katie took probably 4 of the first 5 rounds or so. And then probably 2 of the last 5. There's only 10 rounds in women's boxing.
Right.
So I thought she at least, it was a close fight that could have been a draw or a close decision win for either fighter. I do know that judges tend to score fights for the better looking fighter, not physical attractiveness, but how their punches look. Are they boxing or are they just wildly throwing punches? Delfine Persoon reminded me a lot of Antonio Margarito, and in fact, this fight reminded me a lot of Margarito versus Miguel Cotto. Of course, Katie will be Miguel Cotto, and Margarito would be Delfine Persoon. But the difference, of course, is that Margarito, at least in the first fight, we don't know about the hand wraps, but regardless, he had 12 3-minute rounds to get over on Cotto and stop him late. Persoon did not have that, and so I think it was a fight like that, but I also think it's a fight that if they fight again, that Taylor will use a different tactic. I don't think she was wise to stand in front of her. I thought she could stand in front of her and get the better of her, and she did at first, but not as the fight progressed. So I think in a rematch, she would definitely use her boxing ability. I think she's a lot more skilled than Persoon, and I don't want to take it away from Delfine Persoon because she put on a tremendous performance. Really left it all in the ring, and that's what you want. But I don't have a problem with the decision win for Katie Taylor. I think it's well deserved, and that she's the first undisputed lightweight champion in the women's division, second undisputed champion in any women's division, and the second wearer of a Ring Magazine belt in a women's division. That's great.
Yeah. I would actually not mind seeing a rematch because so many people complained about her winning this fight. I would kind of like to see her take the rematch and kind of just put that to rest.
Yeah, I would love to see a rematch of both of the what I would consider the main bouts on this card, which were Katie Taylor's fights and Anthony Joshua's fight against Andy Ruiz. Katie got barely by Delfine Persoon.
Barely. Yeah.
Anthony Joshua did not get by Andy Ruiz. I thought we rewatched the fight when you can see better always, no matter where you sit. And especially
whether it's ringside or in the rafters,
you can always
see better watching on TV.
They have the cameras, everything's great. So what I'm saying is that having watched the fight, again, I don't think Anthony Joshua ever recovered from that first knockdown blow in the 3rd round. Got him kind of behind the ear and the temple. He was discombobulated, and he was on shaky legs the rest of the fight. In fact, I read somewhere that in between one of the rounds, he asked his trainer, why do I feel this way? I don't think he ever really got his legs back from under him. His punches didn't look sharp. He didn't really know what he was doing.
Yeah.
I thought.
What do you think about the report saying that his dad said that he got knocked down or knocked out during a sparring session?
Who? Anthony Joshua's dad?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that he didn't want him.
Yeah, you never know, and we will never know. I think Eddie Hearn said that was false. But Eddie Hearn's a promoter, and he's going to say whatever's best for his promotion.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. It doesn't matter. Wouldn't want to propagate anything that takes away from Andy Ruiz's epic
that's what
victory.
bothers me. That if it's not true, then because it makes you question,
Yeah, we'll have to see in the rematch. I did see the odds come out for the fight today. Joshua was favored.
Well, just to make clear that Joshua did exercise his rematch clause.
Yeah.
So that officially happened today.
And he's favored by bookmakers. You know that? Like a pretty big favorite. Not like a huge favorite as he was, but he's still a pretty significant favorite. What do you think about that?
Well, I think he's the one who lost, and so he's the one motivated to make adjustments. Whereas I feel like somebody like Ruiz is like, hey, I went in there with this game plan. My game plan worked. I'm going to do it again. And when he does that again, it may not work in the next fight, but he doesn't know what else he's to plan for. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's going to plan for the Joshua he already fought, and that may not be the Joshua he fights. Now, they can plan ahead, right? If I were Ruiz, I'd plan for that, and I'd also plan to fight some version of a, second half of his career Klitschko. But that's what I would do if I was Joshua. I'd use my height.
I'd hire Jonathan Banks, which was Prisoner's trainer when Mayo Stewart passed away.
And plan on winning a 12-round decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only one more thing I want to talk about before we get to the big giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the grip strength of Chris Mannix on the DAZN podcast? When Joshua came over after he lost to congratulate Andy Ruiz and try to get that mic. And Joshua, this guy's like a Hulkamaniac, you know what I mean? He's like a Thor. He's from Asgard. But Mannix, I felt like you could see Mannix as soon as he came over, Mannix just it's almost like the microphone was bent in from his grip, and he was like, "No."
It was like a silent tug of war for that mic that no one was gonna facially acknowledge what was going on.
It was
but nobody was letting go of that mic.
I'd love to see that.
It's funny that you mentioned Thor because it's reminded me of the final scene in the Avengers movie with Thor and Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy. So in this case, Joshua would be Thor and Chris Mannix would be Star-Lord. And how Joshua is so confident. Confident, mind you, that he comes over and interrupts somebody else's interview.
Yeah.
Takes the mic.
On live,
live TV.
Yeah.
So clearly in this case, Chris Mannix is Chris Pratt's character in the Avengers, where he's like, no, but I'm really in charge. And Joshua's like, sure you are.
Yeah.
Sure you are.
Oh, yeah. It was funny television. I thought it was good work. And I just, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that would be a hard situation. Because, also... If
you're like, do I let go?
He's not supposed to let go of that mic. You can't let go of that mic. That's his job, right?
Journalists are trained in that.
And I would imagine there's somebody in his ear also being like, don't let go of that mic. You cannot lose the mic. That's the biggest thing. And, he's, you're not getting this mic. I thought it was an impressive performance by Chris Mannix all around.
So the giveaway is this. We were at the BWAA Awards dinner. We got a swag bag of sorts. And so what we have is, it's actually a really good quality, I don't know what you want to call it, satchel.
It's like a laptop bag.
Type briefcase.
You'll see it. There's a picture.
Yeah. And from Showtime Boxing. Yep. And then inside we've got some various items. We've got some
T-shirts. We got one from Matchroom. Boxing USA. We've got one from Top Rank. Where's the Golden Boy t-shirt? It wasn't in there, Golden Boy. Looking at you, Oscar De La Hoya. And then a fourth shirt is a New York Rangers shirt.
There's only 3 shirts in this bag.
There's also a bagged special edition Ring magazine in there, right?
And then we have the program from the Joshua
$20
Ruiz
program from the Joshua Ruiz epic. Yeah,
fight
huge thing.
at Madison Square Garden. There's a notepad. Yeah, you see the picture. You see what's in there. So we are doing a giveaway.
Maybe.
How do people enter the giveaway, Kelsey?
So we'll leave the instructions to enter the contest in the show notes. Follow the instructions to the T. We're going to be watching you very closely. And hopefully you'll be the big winner. If not, you kind of already win by being one of our best boxing friends. We
Yeah.
love talking about boxing with you. We're grateful for your support, and we're grateful for you.